and those playoff whispers are starting to sound a little louder. Good evening and welcome into New Center 16 at 11, coming to you live from the Irish sidelines. I'm Alex Wilcox.
And I'm Chuck Freeby. We are joined as well by Tim Prister from Irish Illustrated, and let's get right to the highlights. And for Notre Dame tonight, it started with the return of Dexter Williams to the lineup, and on his very first carry for the season, Williams bursts through a hole up the middle and goes 45 yards. What a welcome back party.
No doubt. The timing was right with Jafar Armstrong out. Jafar Armstrong had been developing the last couple weeks, but just the explosiveness of Dexter Williams was in evidence immediately, and they really needed him. The ground game, I thought Notre Dame's offensive line was better than Stanford's defensive line going into the game.
Okay, as we were saying before we were so rudely interrupted, what a breakout game for Dexter Williams. His first carry of the year goes 45 yards. You were making the point that you thought before the game the Irish offensive line was better than the Stanford defensive line. That played out.
I mean, this is not a typical Stanford team, not to take anything away from Notre Dame, but that was an advantage that Notre Dame had going in, really on both sides of the ball. Notre Dame's defensive line better than our offensive line, Notre Dame's offensive line better than their defensive line. It took some time before that fully shined through, but Dexter Williams, absolutely huge return for Notre Dame. Jafar Armstrong with the knee infection, as Irish Illustrated reported last night, but Dexter, the timing couldn't have been any better. Dexter Williams has an explosiveness that no other running back on the roster has.
And absolutely necessary tonight with Tony Jones Jr. going down late in the game.
Right, down to Dexter Williams and Avery Davis, and then freshman Jameer Smith came in late and did some good things. But they've managed to piece that together. That running back core has gotten better with each passing game. Now that you have Dexter Williams back, you have a three-headed monster there. The loss of Alex Bars, we'll see how serious that is.
Now Stanford's got a pretty good running back as well in Bryce Love, and he showed why on the very next drive. Love weaves his way through the Irish defense, 39 yards to pay dirt. That knocks the game up at 7, and Tim, runs like that are why Bryce Love is so dangerous.
Well, an absolutely brilliant back. I think we were all shocked that he didn't turn pro after last year. He's so dangerous, and when he finally left the game late with an injury, it's like, okay, you know that Stanford's not going to get a 75 or 80-yard run. You can't count on that when Bryce Love is healthy and in the lineup because he's so explosive.
In the halcyon days when we did radio sports talk, they used to say, throw to the tight end. Well, the tight ends came up big on this drive. Irish 4th and 2. Ian Book to Cole Kmet makes a fantastic catch, safety right on top of him. And then Notre Dame in the red zone. Book fires a fastball that the ever-popular Nick Wisher comes up with.
Nick Wisher has had to make two really difficult touchdown catches from Ian Book. Ian Book's not making it easy on Wisher, but yeah, that tight end position, we end up seeing Max scoring later in the game. There are 3 or 4 guys that can help you at the tight end position. And you know, people were wondering about Boykin and why he didn't catch much last week, and Elize Mack catching 6 passes. Ian Book's the quarterback now. Whatever is open, he will find him, and that will vary from game to game, series to series, opponent to opponent.
And for Ian Book, it's got to be good as a new quarterback to have those very capable tight ends as an outlet.
No doubt about it. And you know, I thought Chase Claypool stepped up tonight in addition to Miles Boykin, no doubt about it. But Ian Book, I mean, we knew this last week against Wake Forest. Is Wake Forest any good defensively? Of course they're not. But the way he executed and played the position, you knew it would carry over. The receivers had some difficulty against the Stanford coverage, which is why Ian Book was flushed so much and only threw 9 times in the first half. But over the course of 60 minutes, he's going to get it done, and that receiving core with the tight ends will get it done as well.
And he showed a little bit of that mastery at the end of the half. Tied at 14, Ian Book leading the Irish on the 2-minute drill. Here he hits Miles Boykin, who jukes out a defender and is off to the races for a 31-yard catch and run to set up his squad inside Cardinal territory. And then with under a minute left, Book scrambling, buying time, finds Chase Claypool in the back of the end zone, and the Irish go into the locker room up 21-14. Tim, that's really exactly what you were just talking about. Masterful command of the offense by Ian Book.
Well, we knew going into the season that Boykin was the number one receiver, but it won't show itself, like I said, all the time. Claypool is really significant to this team because he's a great athlete, the most explosive athlete at wide receiver with size. It was good to see him get on track tonight because he can kind of ebb and flow with his performance from week to week.
Well, we jump ahead, fourth quarter, Notre Dame threatening, up 24-17. Book fires one out in the flat to Boykin, who plunges into the end zone, make it 31-17. But the real sequence, let's just go ahead and jump ahead to the next highlight, because on the very next play, the defense shines.
They sure did. KJ Costello dropping back, but Tavon Coney is there to pick it off. I thought he was going to take this in for 6. The turf monster gets him a little bit there, but a big play by Tavon Coney. And then with blood in the water, the Irish strike back right away. Wide open Alize Mack, who waltzes into the end zone for the touchdown to make it 38-17, which ultimately would be your final deficit. 3 plays, a touchdown, an interception, and a touchdown for Notre Dame. How about Notre Dame playing a full game and really shutting a team down in the fourth quarter? We haven't seen that from them yet.
Well, that was the emphasis, because they didn't play 4 quarters last year. They didn't play 4 quarters the year before. They were up 10-0 two years ago and couldn't hold it, and then had a lead going into the fourth quarter last year. That was the emphasis. I love that play call by Chip Long there at the end. Totally faked out the Stanford defense. And I really think at that point the Stanford defense had enough. Notre Dame's offensive line struggled a little bit with that pass rush at times. That's why Ian Book was getting flushed out of there. But over the course of 60 minutes, you're absolutely right, Alex. I mean, this is the kind of performance that Notre Dame's been looking for. Ian Book is for real. I think we can wrap that up and move forward from here.
Absolutely, and that would be your final Irish win, 38-17 over number 7 Stanford. We thank Tim Prister for joining us, and you can subscribe to Irish Illustrated, the #1 source for Notre Dame sports online. Just head to irishillustrated.com and click on Join to find the best plan for you. Well, many Fighting Irish fans have their own unique ways of showing off their fandom, whether it's at a big tailgate or just buying game day gear.
But there's one South Bend man who has been collecting special Notre Dame artifacts for several decades now. New Center 16's Jen Cardone is here to introduce us to this man and his hidden gem in downtown South Bend.
Well, you know what? This is a story I've been wanting to tell you guys about, and everyone that's watching at home for many months right now. I met a man who has one of the most extravagant collections of Notre Dame artifacts that I've ever seen. Blue and gold runs deep in Paul Slavinsky's veins. Both he and his father were born during Notre Dame National Championship undefeated seasons. Here's a look at his collection that you have to see to believe. Inside a shop off Jefferson Boulevard.
This is sort of my Irish fun man cavey place, and also part business.
From floor to ceiling, you find decked out entirely in Notre Dame.
I fell in love with Notre Dame as a child. It's in my blood. I had no choice.
Even evidenced by his shoes.
When I go to Notre Dame games, I always have these shoes on.
For more than 40 years, Paul Slavinsky has collected specialty items, not the stuff you'd find in the bookstore.
I'm always looking for unique, different, from the heart memorabilia that has something to do with Notre Dame football.
Whether it's almost every issue of Sports Illustrated over the past 4 decades, or the original Gate 10 sign from the stadium, it's all unique.
So these are 6 of Notre Dame's 7 Heisman Trophy winners, signed by them with one of the ballots that got them chosen as the Heisman Trophy winner that year.
Paul also has the original benches.
So this is a lot more comfortable. You can actually lean back and watch the game back in the day.
And there's the 11 national championship banners, but most dear to his heart, a signature from Father Hesburgh.
And that's one of our special, I guess, mementos, if you will. And right next to him is Father Hesburgh on Time magazine many, many years ago.
Although Paul doesn't know what to do with all of his collection in the future, he'll keep it going for now.
I have no idea what's all in here or what it's worth, if anything. You know, this isn't about monetary, it's about memorabilia and heart stuff. It's about Notre Dame and being a great fan.
so true. And there's actually a part of the story that we didn't even get to. His business partner and lifelong friend Brenda has a third of the shop for her music collection. They like to call their shop at Stars International a cool place for Notre Dame fans and music lovers alike. And I think the best part is that he doesn't even have it all on display. It's in a back room in his shop because there's not enough space for it all.
We know
cool
the
man,
feeling.
kid.
More news after this.
Welcome back to the sideline of Notre Dame Stadium. Of course, the big story, the Irish knock off Stanford 38-17. But there's also a whole lot of baseball intrigue going on with the Cubs fighting for a NL Central Division crown, taking on the Cardinals this afternoon at Wrigley. Bottom first, Javi Baez pops this one up. Looks like a routine fly ball, but the Cardinals' Yaro Munoz can't make the cradle catch. Zobrist comes flying around the bases, scoring from first, and the Cubs take the 1-0 lead. Cole Hamels on the mound for Chicago, top five, tied at 1. Matt Carpenter singles to center. Harrison Bader comes around to score, and St. Louis takes the 2-1 lead. The Cardinals go on to win this one by that score. 2-1's your final. The Cubs will have to wait at least another day to claim the division title.
That also means with a win tonight, the Brewers would tie the Cubs atop the NL Central. They got some help from their MVP candidate in the third. Christian Yelich goes Oppo Taco. That's a 2-run shot. Brewers trail 3-2. This one would be tied 5-5 in the eighth. And not this guy again. Yelich goes yard into the second deck. Second homer of the day. Gives the Brew Crew the lead in the win 6-5. They're tied for the NL Central lead. And Ian Book is at the podium in the Irish press conference.
As far as this week also, just the preparation, your own thoughts of going against Stanford and the defense that has been kind of curious.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, Stanford's. We knew when we talked about it all week. Stanford is such a good team, and it's with us. It's always gone all 4 quarters, and hats off to them. They're just a good team, and we talked about it all week. We knew it was going to be a battle, and in terms of preparation, we just worked so hard throughout the week, and I'm so proud of the guys, and we just knew it was going to go to 4 quarters like it does every year, and that's something we prepared for in our process throughout the week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
You